Hey, for the couple of y'all that just joined, thanks for joining. I'm just doing an Ask Me Anything. And this is my first time doing it on this platform. I've done it on lots of other platforms for a very long time. And I just want to start leaning into this platform. So first, let me start, with y'all, with those of you that don't know me, my name is Ronnell Richards. I'm the author of Shut the Hell Up and Sell. I am a author of online courses for companies, Fortune 5 from the Fortune 500 to the smaller companies. Like we do some great courses. Got about 100,000 students worldwide. If I could like sum up my philosophy on business and sales, it's all about relationships. It's all about relationship centric selling. It's about connection. So if you've ever seen this dude, this Joker, Anthony Elliott or Andy Elliott, I can't even get his name right. Andy Elliott. I'm basically like the anti Andy Elliott. So all of that bullshit that you hate about sales, I hate it too. And I don't think that not only do I hate it, I don't think that it helps people to have successful careers. And having a successful career is all about building deeper relationships. I spend a lot of time talking to entrepreneurs too. So like I know a lot of people on this platform are writers and you guys are entrepreneurs, especially in today's world. And what I find when it comes to artistic folks and entrepreneurs, a lot of times what we struggle with is, I say we as in you all, unfortunately, I've been doing this for a long time, but it's sales. It's understanding how to position our product. It's understanding how to build these connections with the people that we want to sell. Basics of how to talk to them. So what you'll see on my platform is a lot of focus on identifying who you should be talking to and why you should be talking to them and being much more intentional with how you build relationships in your business. And the funny thing about this is you'll see that it translates to all areas of life. Some of us say sales is life, and that's because it is. Like whenever we walk out of the door, we're representing ourselves in certain ways to make ourselves either more, attractive or palatable for people. It's all part of sales. I'm a bit of a storyteller. It's something that's genetic. It's something that's, I like to say, it's ancestral DNA. For African Americans, we don't have a lot of accurate history in the history books. We're underrepresented in history books. And so, over the generations, what we've done is tell stories, and those stories get passed on from generation to generation. I like to consider myself someone that, um, is kind of in the line of those great storytellers from our race that have passed those stories on and on. So when I'm sharing stories, whether it's about sales, whether it's about life, whether it's about my family, whatever, it's a little bit of them that you're hearing that comes through from me. So I'm going to share with you guys a little brief story today. And this is totally impromptu, but I just want to talk about my weekend. Okay. So I spent this past weekend down in Del Mar, Florida, celebrating my sister's 20th wedding anniversary. Let me tell you a little something about my family. So my sister's celebrating her 20th wedding anniversary. Um, this year marks 27 for me. My brother will be celebrating his 10th here next year. They've been together like 16 years, 16, 17 years. My parents have 45 years. My aunt and uncle who are there as well, they have like 40 years. And so here's what I want to share with y'all. I think it not only relates to relationships, but just business. I tie everything back to business. It's just kind of who I am. It's how I'm wired. The more you learn about me, you understand why. So, I when we're sitting and we're having this great experience where there's all these people that came in from all over the country to celebrate this moment with my sister and her and my brother-in-law, and it was beautiful. Their kids are there who didn't exist 20 years before, and now they've got a beautiful 16-year-old and a 13-year-old and a 4-year-old. Yeah, that's crazy. She had a baby at 40 years old. Anyway, just seeing what what has what has come to pass, was really beautiful. But I've been there for the whole damn thing. And, I had my opportunity to speak and I gave my little speech, and there's so many things that I could say, but one of the things I didn't get to say, I'm gonna say to y'all right now. And when I look at them and I look at this their kids. I look at their friends, their families, their relationships, all these connections. I look at them, not just them, but myself and my parents, and who we all have been through these experiences where we've got decades in our committed relationships. And the one thing that was overwhelming that I didn't share, that I kind of wanted to share was, which y'all don't see, is we've all been through a lot of shit. We've been through a lot of shit. Every single white-haired, cute couple that you guys see when they're holding hands at the mall and you see, oh my God, those are life goals. You don't know. They've been through some shit to get there. I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years, but I've grown up in entrepreneurship. My parents were entrepreneurs. It's in my DNA. And I will tell you that aside from being smart with in sales and all these other things that are necessary, marketing and all that. You want to know my secret to success? Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm a one percenter. I don't give a shit. Even people talk about money, 1%. I'm a one percenter because I'm still here. The number one reason why I am here, the number one reason why we are still in our relationships is because we refuse to say no. We're willing to work. We don't quit. So if you are an entrepreneur, you're an author out there, there's a lot of authors on this platform. Don't quit. Be stubborn. I'm stubborn. I'm just too dumb to quit. I'm a really smart guy, but I'm too dumb to quit. I don't know. Now that said, I have to put the disclaimer if you're in bad relationships and all that stuff, it goes without saying, get out of those damn relationships. But I'm just telling you that as a guy, for those of you that don't know me, you're just now getting to know me, look me up. And I don't want that to sound pretentious. It's just, I, I, I say that because first, I think that it's very important that you qualify the voices, you qualify the people that you choose to give your energy and your time to. That's not something that we do enough. That's why I put out so much content. That's why there's so much out there about me, because I want you to know who I am and understand that one, I honor this attention. I honor there's no greater resource that we have. So when you give me your time, I want you to know that you're giving it to someone that you have qualified as someone being worthy of it. It's another little piece of Ronnellism. So, everyone's got a camera now. Everyone's got a camera. Everyone's got a podcast. We're giving all this energy to folks, many folks who aren't qualified, who haven't put in the work to be worthy of it. But I digress. So going back to this experience, that's something that I wanted to share in my very first AMA, is just what my weekend was like, what we did, and some of the lessons for everyone through it. And especially, again, a lot of people on this platform, you're entrepreneurs. And that commitment, that refusal to quit, that's why, I'm here. Oh, let me qualify it a little bit more too. Again, bad relationships are bad relationships. Get the hell out. But as long as you can see that there's value, as long as you can see that on whatever it is, your entrepreneurship and your relationship, there's mutual value. There's something that you're getting at. That you're serving others. It's greater than you. Stick in it. Stick to it. I was listening to a podcast on the way back. I drove down. I live in Atlanta. We drove down to Del Mar, and which was a long ass drive. So I'm listening to this podcast. I highly recommend it. It's a 30 for 30 podcast, their latest one that just came out. And they were profiling this gentleman named Martin Manley. Fascinating life. Google him. It's crazy. Committed suicide. And when he committed suicide, like he planned out his whole suicide and has this website. It's the craziest thing you've ever heard. Anyway, through his life, one of the things that he wanted to accomplish, and the reason why he did all this thing at his death is because I feel like he wanted to be a big deal and he didn't live up to that promise that he had for himself in life. And so he chose to make an impact in death. It's crazy. Check it out. Anyway, one of the guys that he kind of patterned his life goals after. And for those of you that are baseball fans, Doug, you know this guy, the metrics guy, the godfather of Jim, I forget his name. I'm not a baseball guy, but he's the godfather of advanced analytics. And so this guy, he sought to be that for basketball. And that was his goal, right? He wanted to be he wanted to be known as that dude for basketball. And after 3 years, he quit because he wasn't on the trajectory. So he decided, okay, I'm going to go on. I'm going to do something else. Now, as they interviewed, and Doug, you tell me who that gentleman is. If you remember the baseball, anyone that's a baseball fan, this guy, he's the godfather of baseball analytics. Is a big deal. Anyway, as they interviewed the dude who's the godfather of baseball analytics, and they're talking to him, this is just recently, like this past year, talking to him about this gentleman, Martin Manley, and the difference between the two, because his philosophy and how he saw basketball analytics was like next level. He was ahead of his time. But what this gentleman said, and again, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, Godfather of Baseball, what he said about baseball analytics is he said that his goal was not to be a big deal. His goal was just to serve, like to create something that brought value to others. And it was that allowed him to be around long enough for him to become a big deal. He wrote 5 books before people really even knew who the hell he was. Martin wrote 1 book. And in 3 years, he's like, okay, people aren't catching on. I got to move on. The lesson that I kind of took from that is that, one, it has to be from service. It has to be something, you have to have something that's rooted in service to others. And I know this is going to sound like woo-woo bullshit, but let me explain to you why it connected so much to me. Entrepreneurship is hard. And when we tie our success just to that diamond, that carrot, the money, which it is for most of us in this hustle culture where it's like, okay, I'm going to make X amount of money. You are more than likely going to fail because you're not going to make that X amount of money, or you're not going to hit it in that timeline that you've given you. But when you tie it to something else, and I'm going to tie this back to my own experience, when you tie it to something more than you, that is what will sustain you when you're not making money, when you are struggling to pay bills, when you're working 14 hours a day. And for me, it was making impact in my employees' lives, like giving people opportunities that wouldn't normally have those opportunities. So when I built my first company, it was super hard, but I felt good that I was educating people. I was giving people an opportunity that wouldn't have it. For me, I took an interest in investing in people, meaning that, and this is a little something more you learn about me. Every time I interviewed someone to come work for my company, this is what I tell them all. I say, listen, with the ones that I hired, so listen, if I walk you out or you leave on your own accord, whenever that is, and that's another thing, I don't hold people back from better opportunities, but I say, whenever that is, you will be better off for having been here. And I took that serious. And better off, it wasn't about money. It was about being a better father, mother, being more fit, being more financially independent, all these different things. I used to invest in my folks to help them on their life's journey. And to this day, I got a legion. I got an army of folks that will ride for me. But it was that mentality that helped me to be successful as an entrepreneur, because I wasn't making money and it was very hard. But like, to be able to feel good about contributing to society, impacting people's lives. I got one of my employees that her son is at former employee. She worked for me for about a decade. Her son is in college, big time football player. And it gives me such joy to know that I am part of their story. And I won't tell you all the story, all the reasons why, but if not for the things that I did, they wouldn't be in that position today. That's the sort of thing that motivated me, that kept me going. So I will tell all of you, whether you're entrepreneurs, whether you are authors, writers, whatever, it has to be about other people. It has to be about contributing to the society, contributing to the world. So push out all that damn hustle culture bullshit because the reality is most of the culture bullshit people, they're not really successful. They are either lying, they're stealing, they're cheating, and it's going to be short lived. But if you want a successful career, you want a successful build a successful business, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a writer, just focus on doing things that impact the community. I have this company called Business and Bourbon. Look it up. Hey, and again, for you guys that are just joining, welcome in. Bill James, thank you, Doug. His name is Bill James. Welcome in, just sharing the weekend and sharing some Ronnellisms. If you don't know who I am, I encourage you just go, look at my website, Google me, whatever. There's plenty of information out there. And that's one of the things I talked about early in this conversation is vet the voices. Vet the voices. Just because someone has a camera does not mean that they are qualified or they have earned the opportunity for this honor that is your attention. So you don't know me, vet me out. All right. Oh, Doug, I just like went left. That's the thing. Sometimes I like go right or go left, and usually it's a superpower because I can like bring it back. Right now, I forget where I was going before that. We talked about, thank you, Doug, sabermetrics, Bill James, the service to others, that focus on, oh, yeah, here it is. Boom. So in that vein, I've also had a lot of social media success, I guess by, industry standards or people standards, on the LinkedIn platform. I've had over just, last year, I think like 33 million views and stuff like that. I'm telling you that for context, to also kind of give you and tell you what my success metric is. So all of that's cool. And I appreciate it, but it's not necessarily what success has been or has been for me, nor will it ever be because it's superficial. I don't know who the 30 million people are. Um, what success has always been is one, and I'm sharing this with you just to keep it in mind as you're on your journey on this platform. I shared this with a gentleman. Make sure you follow him, Jared Copenny. He's a guy I knew back in when I was a kid, and he wrote a beautiful blog on this platform about divorce and what he's going through. And I felt it was very inspiring. And he's going through a lot. And what I told him is, I'm like, bro, success is one person. You're going through a lot right now, but know that this is going to impact one person at least, and it's going to serve that one person, and it will all have been worth it. So I tell you that on your journey of like and those of you that take this shit serious, and as I do, and with your shares, with your authoring, and the things you're doing on this platform, know that it has to be. It's not the millions, it's not the thousands, it's the one. It's that one person that you're going to impact. Now, from a business perspective, it's the same thing. It's that one person. That one person that sees that piece of content, that one person that sees your blog and says, you know what, that's my guy. Like I relate, I connect, and I want to do business with that person. So just keep your authentic voice out there and understand that success is really comes down to that one individual and just you build just like that. So where I was going is I built this company called Business and Bourbon. Many of you are probably familiar. Many of you that have been, part of my network for a long time, no doubt are familiar with Business and Bourbon. Business and Bourbon, like everything that I do has a tenet, it has a mantra, it has a code. As I say that, it reminds me of my one of my favorite shows, Dexter. Any Dexter fans out there? Dexter has a code. I have a code too, and it's not like Dexter. There's no criminal activity, but we have to never lose focus of who we serve, and it's the audience and serving the audience in impactful ways. So we have this I have this box check. I have to do one of three things: educate, motivate, or inspire. And that's when it comes to content, social media, all this stuff, I think about those same things. It keeps me focus, it keeps me grounded, and it makes sure that I never forget that it's not about me. It's about you. Business lesson. And through serving your target audience in impactful ways, not the superficial bullshit, but impactful ways, that's how you build a great business. Why is that how you build a great business? Because that's how you build great relationships. And at the core of every great, of all great businesses is just relationships with people, just like y'all, us, people. One person talking to another person saying, you know what? Oh, I dig that person. Oh, I can relate to that person. Oh, that philosophy, man, they taught me something. Oh, they inspired me. Those sorts of things. So think about that as you're on your own journey. Okay, how are you? And feel free to take that. Educate, inspire, motivate. Check one of those. Those are all emotional triggers. Ron, they're all emotional triggers. So we in my training I often say um, talk about the difference between the rational brain and the emotional brain, and and numbers and things like that. They're great. It's ration, but when you can connect with people emotionally, so much more powerful for your business, for your relationships, for your content. So remember that. It's the one. Hey, this is again my very first live on this platform. I intend to do more of it. It was a pain in the ass to get started. I don't know if that's like normal, but it took me like 10 minutes just to log on to this thing and actually get the video on and popping. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you dig what it is that I say, you found something of value, please subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it. If you or your company is subscribe to LinkedIn Learning. If you work for Microsoft, all the big companies, you guys all got free subscriptions. Go to LinkedIn Learning, check out some of the courses I have there. I've got about 14. You can also go to sayless.academy. That is our private label platform. We got like 12 courses there. That's what I love to do. That is my passion, educating, and doing it my way, storytelling, and I'm very practical. I'm very prescriptive, because I want you to come away from any time you've honored me with your time. I want you to come away with something that you can apply. Um, yeah, so that's a little bit about me. Thank you all for joining me for this last 30 minutes. If you found some value, tell somebody, share it with somebody. I'm excited about this platform because I'm going in on this platform. And I'll leave with this. LinkedIn, I loved it. It's a great platform. I'm not going anywhere from that, but it doesn't allow me to connect the way that I want to connect on a deeper level. I'm a deep thinker. I think in layers. And on that platform, I have to communicate sometimes complex things in 2 minutes. And while some of y'all get it, because I speak in like layers and hidden things and all that, most don't. And that's fine. I've learned to be able to communicate in a way to where the masses can get some value out of it. And then those of you that are like, that the next level, you get something too. But this platform is allowing me in this short journey, since I've started to go deeper, have deeper conversation, have deeper dialogue, take those thoughts that I have on that platform and break it down in ways that that are even that much more impactful to the audience in terms of being able to execute. So thank you all for your time. Have a fantastic Monday. If you are in this week, I'll be in Anaheim at Talaris Partner Summit. So if you are in the technology channel, make sure you come up and see me, say what's up. I'll be there. And then I will be in Las Vegas for the National Sales Network conference at Fontainebleau. I'll be speaking there. Um, I don't know if I'm going to take the stage at Talaris Partner Summit quite yet. I might, because I'm on the board of a charity that I might be asked to take the stage for a little bit. But if not, I'll be there. Look forward to seeing y'all. Have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching.